Start shooting. Derek Fountain has 5. Here's Adam Miller in the corner. Misfires from deep. And Alabama on the move. So going clearly into the game for the first time. Almost pulled it, but instead finds Damari Burnett. Burnett attacks, finds Clowney. That's an easy one.
First half of this game versus the second.
Yeah, they look pretty assertive, aggressive on both ends of the floor. After the Williams miss, this is the push. Burnett, his foot might have been on the... That's
well, Damari Burnett had 16 points, 4 rebounds in the last game. He really seems like he's finding his swagger back, his confidence, finding his flow within this team. He's definitely a huge asset back to the Tide.
He's dealt with just so many scarring injuries, the latest, the left wrist surgery from earlier this season, but he is settling into form. There's a triple. Then you got to fling it back out. This is Hill for 3. No. So tough break there. You lose the transition bucket. Alabama the other way. 11 up. Just about 8 minutes in. Now Burnett feeling it. Back to back. We're not going anywhere. I was a high school teacher not very long ago, so I ain't paying any $12 million buyout. The very kids and daughters that are growing up here, now their 4th season in Tuscaloosa. There's
in SEC play, I believe, and has had 3 double-doubles now this year.
Oh, man. Betty
practice.
Yeah.
And he's had a better bounce in his step. You know, from rebounding, that time he bounced it in. Take that.
Yeah. He's 4 of 4 on this rim, 1 of 1 of the other. Welcome to Baton Rouge, inside the Pete Maravilla. Alabama 59% from the field to start this one. Tyrell Ward's triple is offline and then off to the races. Ryland Griffin take on.
Brandon Miller can continue to get better. I've heard many comment on his shot selection, and I agree. Very unselfish, knows when to make the right play, but going and finishing to the rim with that slender body is what he needs to continue to work on. But
he's found it twice from deep. That's his second 3. Now Miller, responds.
Didn't happen at Oklahoma, and you see the pressure that they can put on you as well. They do a nice job of defending, and that defense allows them to get out into the open break, and then their unselfish depth. They move the basketball as well as any.
So now you have the technical free throw.
And you see Anton Petway on the sideline.
About a decade and a half, Brian Hodgson, Charlie Henry. So now you have the free throw. Face this team, it just feels overwhelming at times on both sides of the.
If you're LSU, can you keep up with this scoring? Because they've only been scoring about 59 points per game in league play after scoring over 70 in the non-conference. That's good D by Derek Fountain,
who also has 12 points on the other end. Miller off balance. Woo! Got it.
Better off.
Quick pass to Hayes. He wants a 3. No. Williams went up for it. Instead, though, it's Burnett.
How about Damari Burnett going out of his range to go get a rebound?
Burnett goes up, draws
together the rebound. That's important because area they'll just watch instead of going and securing the rebound.
Yeah, aggressive. That's what
the SEC. 2 guys that certainly deserve some more love, but the best way to get that love is to win basketball games. That's what KJ Williams is trying to do. Value.
Hey, nice work from Cam Hayes. He now has 5. Hey, a salute to LSU. They have kept this thing close and competitive and tight in the early minutes. Oh, take off though.
Like being a good husband, he realized that Pat Adams was a little upset. Not saying anything to him, just allowing Pat to relax and cool off.
Listen,
not looking at him, not talking to him.
There's Burnett for what? Well, 13 today, had 16 in the recent outing against Vanderbilt. So 29 over the last 3 halves. Alabama foot on the gas. Alabama only 5 fast break points, I should say. So
has actually come from Alabama's newcomers, not guys like Quinterman.
Prince Carolyn Peck, Courtney Lyle have that one. You got LSU, the unbeaten Tigers. They face A&M, and then the top 10 battle in Big Ten play. That's 4 Eastern on ESPN2.
Yeah, Kim Mulkey and Angel Reese really have things going here at LSU.
Underneath, yeah, there's some looks. 22% from the field were masked by what they did at the free throw line. They were 13 out of 14. And yes, 2 of the top 3 scorers in the SEC have a combined 9 points. However, hey, you never know what can happen on any given evening. And yeah, there's Fountain going. A lot of his points from close range.
We still don't see Charles Bediako coming out with a nice three-pointer. You know, Charles Bediako, who went down with that elbow injury early in that first half, is the defensive anchor of this Alabama team. I'll be interested to see if and when he gets back in the second half.
He's sitting right there on the bench next to Brian Hodgson, so in uniform on the bench. Justice!
How well he's doing at Providence under Ed Coolidge. You think about some guys just need that fresh start. It's not that the coach did anything wrong. They just didn't fit together. And I think Derek Fountain's a prime example of that here at LSU.
Williams at bin 3 and some life in the building. This is Miller underneath. Back out to Sears. Head fake, now in the corner. 3 is down. Oh, Burnett wide open, down and out. And Williams the strong rebound.
Kevin, you said falling down, falling away. The big fella's got to be more aggressive. He's got to be tougher inside. He's bigger, he's stronger. He shouldn't be falling away from Brandon Miller.
Yeah, he's 1 of 7 from
That's
the
how you go inside right
Fountain.
there. Bediako on that sideline about to enter this basketball game.
Yeah, the Fountain.
Obviously, you think about Gonzaga and Drew Timme, probably the prime team to go to number 1. And Tennessee potentially could, but that loss at Florida, I think, hurt them during the week. One of those teams, I think, but the fact that they beat Houston, that one off at Oklahoma, I think a win here today in the right way could potentially secure them a number 1 ranking next week.
50 to 30, that's a 15-point deficit Purdue faces at half in Bloomington. Straight on 3.
You got the defense working, move it a little bit more, try to get you a better look.
Miller, aggressive, lays it up and down. Game, LSU within 4 now, 5.
He takes it to the next level. He usually kind of senses what his team needs. The challenge that Alabama's had today is they're not really allowing stops. You know, LSU's close to 50 points with 15 minutes left to go in this basketball game.
Yeah, shooting much better in this second half. Got a lot of their points at the free throw line.
Good slip.
Oh, yeah, here's Justice Hill, wide open. Book it! This is Hill with the left hand. Wild layup. Miller's putback won't go.
Wild layup, but he was still putting pressure on the defense of Alabama, and they were able to get back in defensive transition. I like the push by Hill, just don't like the decision.
Miller into the paint, aggressive.
Rolled in the second half against Missouri. But the other part is, across the country, Deontay George, Bryce Sense, better one than the one we're watching here today.
Hill, Miller around the screener, puts it in the evening.
That was Brandon Miller's job defensively, and I think he can be an elite defender, but I always say when he turns it on.
Griffin trying to respond, yes. Has led for the majority of the way since. Hayes throws it up, bounces down and out.
KJ Williams that time had Riley Griffin on him for a mismatch.
Quinterly lays it up and in a crafty. They've made it a point to either maybe shrink the possessions, crash the offensive glass, or get to the free throw line. They're 17 out of 22.
LSU's taking away that rhythm a little bit here in the second half.
Williams with the right hand, yes.
LSU's taking away that rhythm a little bit here in the second half.
Williams with the right hand, yes. What does Alabama do? Brandon Miller on the bench with 4 fouls. 3 in the air. Griffin buries it.
Really doing a nice job of penetrating and using their space to get better looks from the perimeter.
12 threes today, which at times it feels like kind of a chill day for Alabama from deep. But they've connected on exactly half from beyond the arc.
KJ Williams out of the game right now. I like getting the basketball back to Derek Fountain.
Lob it up to Phillips, the freshman. LSU had sliced the deficit to 6, Damian, a few minutes ago. It was 66-60. That's a foul, by the way. ESPN2, the Lakers and the Pelicans. Sears to the corner. This is Bradley. No, way off. LSU on the run again. Williams to Fountain. Yes, this time he got it. Yeah, right. Several years back.
You're all around him over there.
5-point game. Remember, Baylor and Iowa State women's hoops coming up next. We'll get you out there when this one concludes. After the miss, lead feed up ahead to Sears. It's a 2-possession game now. You're in that, difficult decision time.
You want to try to pressure their secondary handlers. But with Alabama over.
That's why you hear a lot of Final Four potentials. You need to get something up here quick. Miller to the bucket, into Clowney. No, rebound to Miller. Now Fountain's chasing. Burnett wisely kicks it back out, but Sears lets it fly. Miller the offensive rebound, and then the years. They did it 2 years ago in that SEC championship season. And boy, it feels like they are marching towards that regular season title as goal number 1 on a list of probably many goals for this talented premier squad. Alabama withstands that LSU surge, wins.